Welcome to Formosa Dream Chasers
We're your hosts, Mary Ann.
and Ching-en.
Please join us as we explore the journeys amazing people take in pursuit of their dreams.
And get insights from their experiences
Let's hit the road.
and get started.
Hello, and welcome back to Formosa Dream Chasers, where we share the stories of ordinary people pursuing their dreams and building extraordinary lives across Taiwan and beyond. I'm your host, Mary Ann Shoko. Before we begin, a brief content note. Today's episode includes reflections on the COVID-19 pandemic, including discussions of illness, loss, and death. So listener discretion is advised. In our last episode, we continued our discussion with Philippine Labor Director David T. Dicang, who offered a unique perspective on the lives of Filipino migrant workers and the systems that support them. Drawing from more than 3 decades of experience serving overseas Filipinos across multiple countries, Director Dicang explained why Taiwan stands out as a destination for migrant workers, highlighting its strong labor protections, accessible support services, active community organizations, and responsive government agencies. We also explored why so many Filipinos choose to work overseas, the dreams that motivate them, and the challenges they face while living far from home. Director Dicang spoke candidly about the sacrifices migrant workers make for their families, the importance of financial planning and skills development, and the qualities that have earned Filipino workers a strong reputation around the world, including their adaptability, resilience, and willingness to learn. The conversation also touched upon the programs and initiatives available to Filipino workers in Taiwan, from legal aid and professional licensing opportunities to training programs designed to help workers prepare for their life after their overseas employment. This week, we bring you the final part of our interview. Director Dicang reflects on some of the most meaningful moments from his years in public service, including a memorable community project launched during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. He also shares his message to Filipinos currently working abroad, practical advice for those considering opportunities overseas, and the lessons he has learned from a lifetime dedicated to serving others. Let's dive back into our conversation with Philippine Labor Director David T. Dicang. Sir, we're gonna shift the conversation a little bit now
Okay, sure. Yeah.
towards something a little bit more reflective. And you've shared a lot of your experience, and you've mentioned that this career has given you the opportunity to make a positive impact on numerous Filipino workers all over the world. And you've been in this industry or sector, shall we say, for over 30 years. So I was wondering if you could share a memorable experience that you've had with a Filipino worker that made a significant impact on you. Would that be okay?
There are several, no? There are many exciting moments, but what comes to mind right now is we composed a song with the Filipino community in Qatar during the COVID season. So it was so hard, no? Back in the state of Qatar in Doha. It was so hard to travel around. You know that the impact was worldwide. But aside from finding ways to, because people have lost their jobs then, some were in their houses, could not travel, and we found a way to help each other. Those with work can actually share what they have, aside from what we give from government, and we bring this from house to house. But aside from that, we even got to have an original composition. You can look at it at YouTube. The title of the song is Filipino ka, lingkod at gabay ng mundo. In English, it means you're a Filipino in service, you're a light, you're a shining light, you're a guide to the world. We had to shoot the song. We made a music video, and small groups came to the venue in our extension office at different times and different days because we can't all go together because we cannot stay in a big crowd. Logistically, it was logistically it was difficult, but we still did it. So it was great, and to actually have so many people participating in the project at that time where everything is limited is really a feat and brings encouragement to a lot of people. The title of the song is Filipino ka, lingkod at gabay ng mundo. You can search this. It was launched in February of 2021. So we initiated that in coordination with many Filipino organizations and as an original composition through a music video as a tribute and inspiration to all Filipinos worldwide.
Hmm. Okay.
So that was one of the
Yeah, especially during COVID. A lot of
yeah.
people were having a hard time. So having something that would uplift them would
Yeah.
definitely help their emotional and mental state to at least have some hope for a better future. Yeah.
During those times, sometimes we forget, no? We forget about the chapters of our lives or the phases of our lives. We never thought that we would pass through a season like that when travel was stalled worldwide, jobs are lost, you can't leave your house. So that's why Netflix had a killing.
Yes.
It got so popular back then and until now. And then you had to like work from home. So the word was sometimes you work from home, work at home, and everything was online. And then people started to appreciate the basics, like the farm or the agricultural spaces became safe places. Then the signature items was a gunner, like we're back to basics during the COVID time. There's no rich or poor. You're all affected.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter what you wear, what you have, you can just die. You know.
Yeah.
So but we forget those times. No? So, but when looking back, it was a it was a great challenge. Just when people bringing help to people back then, just to bring help to people is difficult because there are limitations to travel there's the threat of infection, and of course the governments back then need to control to have checkpoints, but we were still able to launch a musical video. So some joined us online. Some we had to shoot their lines in person in a secluded venue on separate occasions, separate dates and time. So that was really something else.
Hmm. Yes, sir. And then, sir, since we're talking about this music video and, the message at the time was during COVID to uplift spirits during that difficult period, I'm going to continue with that thought and ask you, like, right now, what message would you like to share with the Filipino workers currently living and working here in Taiwan?
Yes. Again, we have a great opportunity to not just make our lives, the lives of our families better, but we also affect the community that we're in. So again, our stay in certain places may be temporary, but our contributions can be great. And again, we have this opportunity not just to help ourselves, and the families that we have, but also the community that we're in. So, and we belong to a bigger community, not just the Filipino community. And then I know that Filipinos are so like into social media. So it is our hope and prayer that we always stay positive, that we get into the good vibes, we get into the helpful vibes, and because one person can do a lot, and just continue helping each other and get into good investments, get into good circles, get into the beneficial what do you call it, activities that can really help you and always stay out of trouble.
Yes, right. And then, sir, that's your message for Filipinos here in Taiwan. What would your advice be for Filipinos who are still in the Philippines but they are considering to work overseas?
If that's the only choice that you have for Filipinos wishing to work overseas, if there's a chance for you to actually have a good opportunity still in the Philippines, it would be best to be with your families and have that a good break and have success in our own country. But if you are left with this option of really going overseas for greener pastures, it's always going to be helpful to be really putting attention to detail, like looking into documentation, like how can you be sure that the job that you're going into really exists? So that's part of the job that we do. So do you have the necessary documentation for like your employment contract? That's essential. Do you know the terms of of your contract? Are you aware of it? Do you have the necessary paperwork and everything? And maybe learn also something about where you're going to. Like for me, it's so easy to say, but it's also difficult, like learning Mandarin. But for workers, for our Filipinos who are like going to work in Taiwan, probably even at the stage of applying for a job, you already have this mindset of learning, of self-learning the language. Like, or maybe if you're going to the Middle East, then you have this mindset of self-learning Arabic and not to depend so much on assigned courses. So when you decide to go somewhere, so have that mindset of learning the culture by yourself, research, learn the language while you're still back there, because it's going to be a big help. And it's like, for example, when you meet a non-Filipino who speaks Filipino, it's so appealing and pleasing, right? So it's probably the same when, like, it's your first time in the Middle East, and then you get to have an Arab coworker or friend, and he's so surprised that you speak their language, and you understand each other, and you can better understand the job, your task or your work, or even out of work. So it's preparation. It's really having the mindset of also preparing, and then also preparing your family, and then also the mindset of having a like a career path. Some people will have a short-term plan, like, okay, I'm going to this country, I'll work there for 2 years. But it's also best to have a long-term goal and also try to look into your actual finances. Like, this is how much I'll be earning. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. Because sometimes people just rush into the job, but you need to have the a good preparation. Have to have a good mindset. You have to be aware of your documentation, terms of your contract, so that when you get to where you want to be, or you should be, or you will be, you're in a better situation.
Hmm. Okay, sir. Those are very practical advice that I think, regardless of whether or not you're a Filipino wanting to go overseas, if you are a person who is looking to find work opportunity abroad, I think those are very practical steps that can apply across different nationalities. So thank you
Yes,
sir, for
yes.
that. Yes. And then, sir, before we end this interview, is there anything else you wish to add that you want to share with our audience?
Well, just let's just all try to be a contributor to this to society, to the community. Meaning, maybe it's okay if you can have a personal of like being helpful to the community that where you belong. Maybe not deliberately or just being a contributor to the community. Anyone can be in many ways. So that's my message to anyone listening. Like that's what I learned in this kind of job, and then it's very inspiring in a way when you like. There was a time like after 7, 10 years, someone was calling out my name in the middle of a cafeteria in another country, and I don't remember him. He remembers me, and I helped him somewhat. So, and also back then, I was nervous speaking in front of students, younger people, even in the elementary age. Sometimes I get invited to schools back in the Middle East, and sometimes you think that nobody's listening, and then whatever you say or do may actually influence someone. That's the message that I want to just put across. So let's just be contributors to society and maybe affect a life or two for the better.
That's very inspirational and actually a really good reminder that our lives are very temporary, and it's always good to do good in the world in whatever capacity we can and uplift our communities. So I definitely 100% agree with that message, sir. And I also want to thank you very much for your time. I know that you're a very busy person. You have so many concerns helping the Filipino workers here in Taiwan and also just doing so many things. I just wanted to thank you once again for your time, Director Des, and also wanted to thank you for being so open and honest about your sharings. And I hope that a lot of our listeners get to understand our Filipino workers, their perspectives, their lives, and also think about their future path in terms of their career.
Thank you very much, Marianne, for this time. Really, not only Filipino workers who are out there, but we also have many Filipino students here in Taiwan, and I think we're the number one as tourists coming to Taiwan. I'm not sure. I read somewhere that many Filipinos visit Taiwan. Taiwan is a visa-free. Filipinos can travel to Taiwan for 14 days. So all those who will be listening to your program, Marianne, hello to all of them. We just enjoy life and
Yes, po.
just keep on sharing.
Yes. Thank you, Sir Ulit, for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you very much.
And that brings us to the end of our conversation with Philippine Labor Director David Des T. Dicang. Over the course of this three-part interview, Director Dicang has shared not only the realities of labor migration, but also the human stories behind the statistics. We've also learned about the support systems available to migrant workers here in Taiwan. In today's episode, Director Dicang reflected on some of the moments that have stayed with him throughout his decades of public service. Through it all, one message stood out. Wherever we may be, we all have the ability to contribute something meaningful to the communities around us. His advice is a reminder that success isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about preparing for opportunities, continuing to learn, helping others along the way, and making a positive impact wherever life takes you. I'm Marianne Shaka. This has been Formosa Dream Chasers. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again on the next episode.